Welcome to Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt of the Marquardt Law Firm at marquardtlawfirm.com.
Howdy, South Texas. Howdy, San Antonio and Houston on KLUP 930 AM and 630 KSLR on Saturdays at 11 o'clock in the morning and Sundays at 4:30 on 930 AM The Answer. Also on podcasts everywhere, Facebook, YouTube, and talklawradio.com. Today we're going to be talking about resolutions and goals because many of us have probably stopped following our New Year resolution. And it also happens to be rodeo season. So Melody and I dressed the part, and I forgot to tell Joseph. So we're just trying to be festive today.
Nice.
We're going to start with the financial focus with Joseph Warren, financial planner with Financial Planning HQ. We like to talk about the financial focus. So give us an idea of what you're going to teach us today.
Yeah, I like to stick with the theme, and I really love today's theme, Todd, about sticking with your New Year's resolutions. So I think I'm going to talk about that and how it relates to people's finances and good financial habits.
So how does it relate to the financial world?
Great question, Todd. So by now, I think you all know, if you go to the gym, it's starting to thin out. On January 1st, it was full, right? But now it's starting to thin out. But the statistics actually show, and y'all might have different statistics, but mine shows 88% of people have already given up on their New Year's resolutions by February. So when we look at people's finances, I think it's very similar to fitness and things like that, because everyone knows what to do, right? We all know when it comes to being healthy, you need to eat right and exercise.
I went to the gym one year on January 1st.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Just one day.
You made it.
I fell off the wagon.
Yeah. And that's actually normal because the environment around us is not designed to help us make good decisions. There's a lot of money to be made in people eating junk food and people making bad financial decisions, spending money they don't have. So you have to flip the script on that. And that's something we look to do as financial planners. We flip the script so that you have a system where it's easy to make the right decision and hard to make the wrong decision when it comes to your money.
Yeah, systems are good. Your dad was talking about all the systems that Apollo 11 had to have in order to get to the moon.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about some of these systems?
Yeah, I'd love to. But I kind of want to preface a little bit because it's something we study a lot, is how to get people to take action on what they want to accomplish, because it's not something that's second nature. It's built into our human nature that most people will not stick with their resolutions, and that's almost by design. So really, if you want to do that, you have to have an emotional reason why. That's a huge part of it, and I'm sure, have you seen that as well? So the emotional reason why is where we start in the process. So the first conversation we have is something called the value staircase. And to give you an idea, like someone might have a financial goal, you say just like a generic goal, I want to retire at age 65. That's very surface level. We don't know why that person wants to retire. They may hate their boss, they may this or that. But really, we look to dig deep to start and get those emotional reasons why. And we'll hear I want to cherish my time with loved ones. I've seen loved ones pass away and we didn't expect it. And I want to cherish my time with my grandkids and the people in my life. Or I never want to miss one of my grandson's baseball games. You really get to that deep emotional reason. And the reason we do that is because that helps people to actually stick with it. So there's been studies that show that when you have an intrinsic or an internal reason for doing something, you're more likely to keep doing it. So if someone's setting New Year's resolutions, it's good to be like, why do I want to do this? Why do I want to get in shape? Why do I want to have better financial habits? And then once you have those whys, remember them, because that's what's going to keep you going on February 1st when it's cold outside and you want to go to the gym.
Right. Yeah, emotional reasons.
Yeah.
And I brought some books with me, Atomic Habits and No Fail Habits and 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah.
What do you use to pair habits with systems and emotions?
Yeah, so the emotional part is great, but you're not going to get there on feeling alone, of course. So next we talk about people's goals. That's the next step in that first meeting that we have with a potential client. And, I just said goals are surface level, and they're great. It's good to have very specific goals, and that's where we start. Like, what's the date that you want to reach this goal, the exact date, the dollar amount, how will you feel when you achieve it? But the main thing we do with that goal afterwards, if we work with someone, is we create an action list, and that becomes the system. So it's a prioritized list of step-by-step actions to take with a date, person responsible, and then we actually track that. I think that's a huge part as well, is the tracking of if you're making progress towards your goal. That's another form of motivation that I've found.
If you measure it, you can manage it.
Exactly, and you know if you're doing well, so you know if you're making progress or not, or if you need to pivot or do something else. So, yeah.
My dad also said that when you write down your goals, there's magic that goes from the pen to your finger to your brain.
Yeah, I love that.
That's in this book too.
Oh, really? Brian Tracy. Yeah, these are some legends here.
Right.
That's awesome.
Okay, so tell us more about these systems.
Yeah. So with the goals as well, so we want to combine math with logic. So we'll actually put someone's complete financial situation into a computer software that allows us to run scenarios or simulations of different things they can do. So then the action list is just not like, do that because I said so. And we found that when you do that, when you try to motivate people that way, like I'm the authority, I know all about finance. So if you save this amount of money, you're going to be good. They don't want to do it. So we also get the client's input as well. So we say, what do you think about saving or investing this amount per month towards this goal?
Yeah, my kids have this rule. It's called "Don't tell me what to do."
Yeah. It's the same thing with adults. If you try to go outside and tell an adult, like move out of the way or something, they're going to get mad. We have a natural thing, which I think might be good, where we're not just going to automatically say, this person seems like they have authority. I'm just going to do what they say. You want them to be a partner in it so that it's their ideas as well, because then if they don't follow through with the plan, that creates something called cognitive dissonance, which means that you'll actually have an uncomfortable feeling not following through with your plan because you said you were going to.
I have an uncomfortable feeling every morning. I have a standing appointment that pops up on my phone at 4:30 a.m. It says, walk the dogs.
Yeah.
And every morning at 4:30 a.m., I don't walk the dogs. So hopefully, Melody, you'll help me with that later.
We'll do our best.
Yep. But yeah, it's one of those things, like I know I've been there as well. There's been times I really wanted to do something, but I didn't stick with it. So you really have to design it so it's hard to do the wrong thing, like it's uncomfortable to make a bad decision. So some of these systems, a lot of people come to me. Sometimes people will say they want to have a better budget. They're spending money and they wish they weren't spending as much as they're spending. We help clients with that. An easy system is we'll use a tracker. So there's a website that I really like. I'm not getting any money, but they're called monarch.com. And all you do is you connect your accounts and it'll show you exactly where your money's going. And then from there, you can set a budget. But more importantly, you know where your money's going. So there's no lying with, I'm spending this amount of money per month at Amazon. Just an example, like fitness-wise, have you guys heard of like the in-body test where it tells you how much body fat you have?
Have you
guys tried that? Where you held the two things like this and it kind of tells you like...
I haven't. Back in high school, they used to have these pinchers.
Yeah.
And they would like pinch different parts on your body. And however thick that was, that they could calculate your body fat that way.
Yep. No, now you can just there's some type of electrical current. You hold these two like things right here. You stand up straight, barefoot, and it'll tell you like this is the exact amount of grams of fat you have in your body.
Okay.
And that was very motivating for me. And that may not be motivating for other people. Like I've talked to people before and they say that sounds horrible. I don't want to do that. Right. But it's finding out the person's personality, what's important to them and what's motivating to them. And for me, seeing, my amount of muscle went up, my amount of fat went down month after month is motivating for me and it keeps me going. And then I'm excited to go there. It's almost like a ritual and see, did I lose any fat? Did I make any progress this month? It makes it a lot more motivating for me when it's, there's like a bunch of Oreos in my face and I need to eat them.
Right.
I'm like, I don't want to eat a bunch of Oreos and then I do that test and I failed. That would hurt more to me than it would feel good to eat a bunch of Oreos.
Right. Same thing with the scale, I guess.
Yeah, the scale. But what I found there is the tracking is very important because with the scale, you can lie to yourself. So I could go to the sauna, I could dehydrate myself. I could do like the weight cutting that people do.
Right.
And then it's really just water weight. So really like having a tracking system that's, for sure. And that's what we have for our clients. So they can look at their website and they can see, this is the amount of money I have saved for this goal. And this is what it's projected to be. It has a shortfall of this amount. And not only that, when we see that, we get alerts and we'll come up with a course correction of this is exactly what you need to do to get back on track.
Okay, so once you have all that, how do you tie that in with all the other experts?
Yeah, so I want you to think about your team of financial experts. It might be hard to do as like a pro football team, right? Your CPA, your lawyer, your financial planner, all these people are like this pro football team. And just imagine that they weren't playing from the same playbook, right? They wouldn't get anything done. They wouldn't be able to make the plays. They'd run into each other on the field. So our role is to really quarterback everything and make sure that everybody knows the playbook or the strategy, the emotional reason why the client wants to achieve what they want to achieve, what their exact goals are. And so they're all working in unison to get the client there. And it becomes more powerful when it's not just our ideas, my ideas. It's, a CPA looked at this tax strategy. A lawyer looked at this estate planning strategy, right? So that's a huge part of it. And yeah.
Okay, and do you have any resources this week?
I do. I have a checklist that has financial habits that are easy to implement and that can be automated and will really improve your financial situation. And for anyone who gives me a call at 210-444-2128. That's 210-444-2128. I'll run through that with you. We can have a meeting, complimentary consultation, and just go through those habits and see if we can make some slight improvements in your finances for 2026, but really that can impact you for the rest of your life.
Thank you for the financial focus, Joseph Warren, Financial Planning HQ.
Really happy to be on. Great to meet you all.
This has been Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt, brought to you by the Marquardt Law Firm. You can learn more at marquardtlawfirm.com. And be sure to listen to the full Talk Law Radio show Saturday mornings at 11 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Most families don't realize they have hidden legal blind spots until it's too late. Wills, trusts, Medicaid planning, even protecting a business. These are the kinds of issues attorney Todd Marquardt helps uncover before they become problems. Todd is the host of Talk Law Radio, where each week he guides listeners through the legal challenges families, veterans, and business owners face, while showing them the practical steps to protect what matters most. Catch Talk Law Radio, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 6:30 a.m. The Word, and now in Houston on AM 1070 and 103.3 FM The Answer, or anytime on YouTube. Planning isn't just about documents. It's about peace of mind, security for loved ones, and building a legacy that lasts. Don't wait for a crisis. Do it before you die.